Hi there, my name is Melinda. I'm one of the expert teachers here at E2 Language. Could you pop something into the chat? Just tell me where you're from and we'll begin the class in a moment. So just pop something into the chat. Where are you from, guys? Okay, so we've got a group of people on Zoom, we've got a group of people on YouTube, and I want to know where people are from. And while you're doing that, I'll just get the chat, bring up my chat. Where are we? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Okay, I want to see where you're from. Hi, Sonika, welcome. Where are you from, Sonika? We've got, oh, that's a tough one for me. Anushika from Nevada in the USA. Wow, that's interesting. And we've got Victor from St. Petersburg, Mohammed from India. Lovely. So I'm Melinda and I live on the Gold Coast in Australia. So headquarters of E2 Language is in Melbourne and I'm about 2,000 kilometres north. So I'm in a different time zone. Shakti's in Australia as well. Whereabouts, Shakti? What part of Australia? Okay, we've got Alpine from the Philippines, Viral Patel from Melbourne, Bangtan from India, Mamta from Nepal, or someone else from Nepal as well. Sonika from Nepal, yes. Ravir from Australia. Rajveer, apologies. Deep Jyoti from India. Lots of people from India. Muhammad Hussain from Dubai. Simran from Perth. Hi there. Other side of the country, long way away. Okay, and Morita, good morning. Okay, from Bangladesh, currently in Melbourne. Okay, Mohammed's currently in South Australia. Okie doke. All right, let me share the screen and we'll get started. Okay, and I'll just grab the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. Rightio. Okay, so this is what we're doing today, and I should get myself a little pointer as well so you know what I'm talking about. And there it is. Okay, so this is what we're doing today. We're looking at reading. In particular, this class revises or goes over the methods for each of the tasks, each of the reading tasks. We'll do a little bit of work on vocab, a bit of reading practice. We'll look at each of the 5 reading tasks. And I'm going to aim for 60 minutes, but I rarely manage it. I usually go a bit over time. Okay, 5 tasks listed here. You can see how many you're going to get in the test. And you can see approximately how much time you should spend on them. And you need to manage your time in the reading test. 5 tasks, which one is hardest for you? Pop something into the chat. 1, reading, writing, fill in the blanks. 2, multiple choice, multiple answers. 3, reorder paragraphs. 4, 5. Which one do you think is most difficult for you? Pop it into the chat. Okay, hi Betsy from Kerala, welcome. Okay, so Ksenia is saying reorder paragraphs. Adam is saying multiple choice, multiple answers, yeah. Marita's saying reading, writing, fill in the blanks. So we've got 3 responses, 3 completely different ones. Okay, we've got someone else weighed in. Doris is agreeing reorder paragraphs is tough. Nobin as well. Okay, hi Janitor, welcome. Okay, another vote. Suki is voting for reading, writing, fill in the blanks. So yes, there are definitely some tasks here that are challenging, particularly challenging in the short time that you get to do them. Okay, so we're going to start today with some vocabulary. So you've got some vocab here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to read it. After that, during that time, pop things into the chat. I'll explain a few of the words if you have some questions. So 30 seconds, your job is to read. Off you go. Okay, any questions about vocab? Pop them into the chat. Okay, so hi Rebecca, welcome. Jishka, MCQ is most difficult. Virals coming in with reorder paragraphs. Mohammed, reading, writing, fill in the blank. Interesting, the ones you're finding difficult. Victor's asking about the word feline. Feline refers to a cat, lion, tiger. It's that family of animals. So feline from the cat family. Is that the only vocab question at the moment? Canine, okay, canine, dog family. So canines are dogs and wolves. Okay. There's one over here, interesting, merit-based. What's the another way, another type of way we talk about promotion in companies? So some companies' promotion is merit-based, some of them something else. The other one is seniority-based. So senior, you've been there longer, you get the promotion. Or merit, you are the best person, you get the promotion. So different ways of promoting people. Deserved. I can't see deserved. Where's deserved? Okay, quick scan. My scanning skills aren't so good today. I can't see it. Deserved means you earned something, but is deserved there? I can't see it. Okay, I'll take your word for it that it's there. Deserved means that you earned it. Okay, guys, let's move on. Go quick quiz and then we'll start the first task. So for this one, you need to match these words to their meaning over there, and you've got 30 seconds to do it. So pop the answer into the chat as you go. Okay, Victor, now I understand. I'm just going to put my aircon on. It's really hot in here. Okay, so some answers coming in. Let's have a look at them. Hybrid. Hybrid is a cross between two different animals. So if we join two different kinds of dog, we have a hybrid. We can join a horse and a donkey and we get a mule, I think. So crossing between two different animals. Pamper means to spoil. We often pamper children. Some people pamper their pets. Herd. A herd is a large group of animals that often travel together. Erosion is from the word erode, to wear away. So past worn away. We've had a lot of erosion in Queensland in the last week on the beaches because we've had high tides, storms, heavy rainfall. The beaches are being eroded. There is erosion on the beaches. And feline belonging to the cat family. Everyone should have got that last one. Okay, so let's jump into reading, writing, fill in the blanks. Okay, so when you go into the test, you're going to see a screen something like this. Top right side of the screen, it's going to tell you how much time you've got left and how many items there are left. So 12 from 18 is 6 plus 1 is 7. This person has 7 items left and only 11 minutes to do it. Timing is not so good. You want on average 2 minutes for each of the reading tasks. Some of them you'll spend a little bit longer, some a little bit shorter. Okay, you see the instructions here, and you should know the instructions. You should know how to do all 20 of the tasks, what's required of you. Okay, and this particular one, reading, writing, fill in the blanks, it has the drop-down menus. So the method, speed read the first sentence. Now you should only spend 2 minutes, 2 and a bit minutes on this. If you read everything carefully, 2 minutes is gone. So you speed read the first sentence, what's it about? We won't do that now, this is just an example, but you read that, you get an idea. So this one is about something that happened after World War II. The United Nations was founded or started. So that's what it's generally about. Speed read the first sentence. Read the words around each gap. United Nations now counts 192 member nations, something its newest members, Nauru, Kiribati, and welcomed, introduced, including. So I just get an idea of what the word might be. And then you try the most likely words based on what's appropriate in the context, collocations, what works grammatically. So I have an idea, click on this, and then I check. And usually there are 4 of them, and you can say, those 2, no. These 2, oh gosh, I'm not sure. Could be this, could be that. And they are challenging. Even as a native speaker, sometimes I've got to really think, this one or this one? I think this one is slightly better. If you can narrow it down to 2 and then you make your best guess, that's a pretty good strategy. Some of them you'll know straight away, some of them difficult, but back yourself. What do you think? Does it work grammatically? Does it sound right? I think it's this one. Choose it. This is really tough. It's testing you at native speaker level on this particular task. Okay, so if you don't know, eliminate any answers that are clearly wrong and choose from the remaining options. Best guess. Check that it makes sense. So read back quickly through it, just in the areas of the missing words, check that it makes sense. Correct answer, you get a point for it. And you'll get 5 or 6 of these in the test. 2.5 minutes maximum on this question type. Okay, we're going to do one. I'll get rid of my picture. Okay, so we're going to do one. Your job is to read the first sentence, what's it generally about, then read around the gaps. I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes to start. If I think you need more, I'll give you an extra minute. Okay, so I'll just take this so that you don't have the chat in each other's way. You should be okay. All right, off you go. 1.5 minutes to start on your own. And I should say the answers are over here on the right. Okay, I'll give you another 1/2 minute, so half of this clock. Okay, so you should be getting close to being finished. A couple of people finished very early. Okay, so Anoshika and, Chowdhury, Ektwa, Marita, Adam, so that's nice. You've made good time. Okay, and Eshwar, you're asking me for the Zoom meeting ID. You need to log into e2language.com and either create a new free membership or use the existing one there. Okay, so let's check those answers. Anna, that's much easier. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at those answers. First one, entirely, but is entirely incorrect, meaning completely incorrect. Number 2, excuse me while I kiss this guy, substituted for. So we've got 4 collocations, substituted for. Okay, reasons for mishearing lyrics includes include that there is a lot of something and we usually can't see the musicians' faces. A lot of what? A lot of noise. Very simple answer, that one. Okay, we have brain, the auditory cortex of your brain. Okay, and last one, immersed, people immersed in a new language. So sometimes there were two that were possible. And then you needed to make the choice, which one is stronger. Okay, so who got that right? I think a few of you got it right. And I think, Anna, you may have got that correct as well. I actually wrote down what you had. Nice. Yeah, perfect. So you jumped in, I think, after about a minute, Anna. You got that in one. Fantastic. Okay, so why not learning? So number 5, why not learning? And of course, I've got lots of things on my screen in front of that, but let's have a look. People learning in a new language because of the word in. So people learning a new language, perfect. People learning in a new language, it's possible, but it's a bit strange. But immersed in, collocation, they go together. You are immersed in something. So yeah, learning is close, but not quite right. Why not absolutely? Okay, so which absolutely for the first one. Okay, Amanda Green is a misheard word or phrase that makes sense in your head, but is absolutely incorrect. It's possible. If you said it, I would understand completely what you said. It would be okay. However, entirely, it just sounds much more natural to me. And this is what I mean about testing you at a native speaker level. So often you can narrow it down to 2 words. As a native speaker, usually I can say, but that one's better. Sometimes I have to work really hard and I think this one's better. But it's that kind of thing. It's native speaker knowledge. So absolutely, it's okay. But the most likely is entirely incorrect. Okay, so that's tough. This is a tough question for that reason. It's native speaker level. Okay, let's move on. So scoring, if you got the word correct, you've got the point. So at the moment, it's possible to have 5 points. And I hope that most of you have got at least 3 or 4. Some of you will have 5, which is fantastic. Keep a tally, keep score during the class and see where you are at the end. Okay, quick advertorial, tutorials. If you're a paid member and you have a tutorial as part of your package, make sure you take it. Tutorial is a one-on-one with the teacher. So one teacher, one student, 45 minutes, and it's all about you. What do you need? When you make the appointment, you choose 3 things. I want to do describe image, retell lecture, and summarize written text, for example. Then the teacher comes prepared with those things, and your lesson is about that, but the teacher is flexible to work with what you need and what you want. So the aim is to make sure that you're getting much, much closer to getting the score you need in that test. So next time you're going to get through. And of course, you can ask questions, get answers. It's your personal class. So if it's part of your package, take it. Incredibly valuable. Rightio, next one, multiple choice, choose multiple answers. Okay, so the screen's going to look like this. And the very first thing to notice is, as soon as you see the square boxes, it means 2 things. It means that there are multiple answers. So more than one answer will be correct. Could be 2, could be 3. And it also means negative marking. And we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, up here we've got how much time we have left, what item we're up to, the instructions. The prompt is the actual specific question. Okay, and then we have the options. So let's look at the method. So read the prompt carefully. So you're going to read this, and then that's going to help you to, when you read the text, you'll know what you're looking for. You'll have an idea of what the text is about and an idea of specifically what you want. Okay, so speed read the text for the main idea and key vocabulary. Speed read the first sentence. You might want to read the first sentence of each paragraph, for example. I like to read the first sentence and just go down the page. What words can I pick up? So different ways to do it. Do what is comfortable for you, but don't read every single word, because that alone will take you 2.5 minutes a lot of the time. So you must read quickly. So first sentence is enough, or first sentence of each paragraph maximum. Okay, Identify the main idea of the text. What's it mainly about? Identify keywords in the answer option. So far, we've looked at the specific question, the prompt. Very quick read through this, a speed read. Now we're going to identify keywords in answer options. So this is very small. We won't do this one. It's just an example, but I can see 2 million people. So I'm going to be looking for the number 2 million in here. Speak the official language. So what's the official language? And here, just very quickly, I found the subheading languages. So I would look under here, perhaps. The answer may be here. Population is comprised of, so what's it comprised of? Something about religion. So is there a heading? Here's a heading for religion. Life expectancy. So by getting keywords, I can just jump into the text, look for those keywords, and just read around the keyword. Can I answer the question? Okay, so find the keywords in the text one at a time, read each section carefully. Decide if the text says the same thing as the answer option. Does this say the same as this? If it says the same, correct answer. If it says something different, I don't think it's the correct answer. I'm not going to choose it. Okay, and you're going to go back and forth. It's not like you can just go straight through here, find the answers, done, next. You will be going, looking at this, looking at that, looking at this, looking at that, looking at this one, coming back to this one. You move around. It's a natural way of reading. Perfectly okay. You should take about 2.5 minutes on this task. Okay. Do not, down the bottom here, do not choose an option just because it uses the same words. It might be misleading you. They might be trying to trick you. There is negative scoring, so don't guess. And you get 2 or 3 of these in the test. Okay, so negative scoring, what does it mean? In general, it means don't guess. There is one situation where you can guess, but in general, no. So you're going to get 1 point if you get the correct answer, but you'll lose 1 point, -1 for an incorrect answer, and lowest score is 0. What does it mean? So if the correct answers are A and B, and we choose A and B, we get 2 points. We choose A +1 and C -1. Now we've got 0. Would have been better than to only choose A. So we get 1 point, 2 wrong answers, 0. If you choose nothing, you're going to get 0. So this is the only situation. So you've run out of time, you've got to move, you can't read it, make a guess. So if you put nothing, you get 0. If you guess one answer, you might get it right. So that's the only situation to guess in. Only guess one. The chances of getting 2 right, very small. Just guess 1 if you've got no idea or no time. In this situation, you've got 2 right but 1 wrong. You're going to get 1 point. So negative marking, be careful with it. If you're not 100% sure, don't choose it, except if you've got no idea or no time. Okay. So we'll do a bit of reading practice and then we'll do a multiple choice, multiple answer. The reading practice is to help your scanning skills. So if we look here, we've got some words. Your job is to find them in the boxes. So for example, number F is derived. So you need to find number 2 derived. So F2 derived. So I'm going to give you 50 seconds to find acumen, alliance, pamper. Okay? Find these words, 50 seconds, off you go. Okay, so Marita is our champion scanner, had the answer there in a flash. Fabulous. This is a really important skill because you're going to be looking from the answers, keywords, going to the text, looking for those keywords, and then reading around it. Sometimes you might be looking for synonyms, even a bit trickier, and then reading around it. So you've got to learn to go very quickly, just identify words in the text without reading the whole thing. Okay, so there are your answers. I'll give you a moment. I think, so it's just a matter of speed. Could you do it in the time? Okay, so nice work, guys. So we'll move on. Okay, so if we just a quick review. Number one, read the prompt carefully. So that's the actual question. What question do you have to answer? Then speed read the text. So first sentence, maybe the first sentence of each paragraph or the first sentence and down the page. So you choose a speed reading technique that suits you, but make sure you are reading very quickly. You're not trying to understand everything. Just get an idea what's it about. That's number two. Number three, identify keywords in the answer options, then match to find the same words in the text. So you're looking for the same word or synonyms in the text, then you're reading carefully around that word or those words. You decide, does the text say the same thing as the answer option? If it does, select it. Okay, and again, square buttons, it means more than one answer, and it means negative scoring. Okay, someone had a question. What was the question? I saw it before and I forgot about it. Okay. So Nilanga saying, if you put 4 answers in, do you get 1 point? If you put 4 in, you're going to get 0 because every wrong answer is -1. Every correct answer is 1. So if you've got 4 in, you're probably going to get some of them, or you will get some of them wrong. Okay, so be careful. As soon as you've got 1 in, no more guessing, only if you're confident. So it'll only be 2, possibly 3 could be correct. Okay, you ready? So we're going to do one now. I'll get rid of my picture. Okay, so you're going to have a timer. You're going to read the prompt. First thing. Okay. Off you go. You've got 2.5 minutes. Okay, how are you going? Okay, I'll give you you a little bit more time. I won't put the clock on, but I'll give you a little bit more time. We've only got a few people with answers in. Okay. And we've got lots of different answers. Some people going for 2, some people going for 3. Tricky, hey? Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so our question is, does the answer option say the same thing as the text? Okay, so here's the answer option, here's the text. Are they the same? So we're going to look at each answer in turn. So number 8, 25 to 30% of environmental pollution is caused by cats and dogs. So cats and dogs are responsible for 25 to 30% of the environmental, so far so good, environmental impact of meat consumption in the United States. Now, this is not talking about the impact of meat consumption, and it's not talking about the United States. So this could be worldwide. It's not clear that it's the same. Now, I think that's a tricky one, but I don't like it. Okay, so this question is not asking about the United States in particular. All right, number 2. Researchers recommend that dogs be given the less desirable pieces of meat. Okay, and what have we got down here? This means pets are increasingly eating cuts of meat suitable for humans. Researchers, yeah, point out that a dog doesn't need to eat steak. A dog can eat things a human can't. They recommend turning some of that pet food into food for people and leaving the less desirable parts for our pets. Do they mean the same thing? Well, that's looking pretty good to me. Okay, so yes, that one's correct. Next one. American cats and dogs eat as much per year as French cats and dogs. Oh, we can already see the answer there. America's dogs and cats eat as many calories as all the calories consumed by the population of France in a year. Now, I would interpret that as being the human population, not the dog and cat population, because they haven't specified. The meaning here is human population. This is talking about cat and dog population. Are they the same? No, they're not. Okay, so we've got one answer. If I've already spent 3 minutes, I would cut my losses and move to the next one. But if I'm still around 2 minutes or under 2 minutes, I'd keep going. So what have we got? And I know that there's at least one more correct. So D or E, at least one of them is correct. So D, vegetarian diets are responsible for producing less pollution than meat-based diets. And what have we got up here? Compared to plant-based diets, meat requires more energy, land and water to produce, has greater environmental consequences in terms of. Okay, so is it saying the same thing? What do we think? Yes, it is. Okay, so now I've got 2. The last one may be right, maybe not. So again, I'm going to look at the clock. If I'm at 3 minutes, next. If I'm under 3 minutes, if I'm 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I'll look at the next one. America's cats and dogs eat more meat in total than the entire human population of most countries. If America's 163 million canine, dog, and feline, cat pets comprised a separate country, their fluffy nation would rank 5th in global meat consumption, behind only, and they name the 4 countries that would be ahead of them. Does that mean the same? So that America's cats and dogs eat more meat than the entire human population of most countries. So they would be the 5th highest consumers. How many countries in the world? I don't even know. 150? Anyway, it's certainly a very large number. So is that true? Is that not true? Yes, it has the same meaning. Correct answer, BDE. So who got that one? Adam's arguing the point. Plant-based and vegetarian-based are not the same. Okay, Adam, I think that's a very technical point. In my understanding, they are the same, but maybe there's a technical reason why you would dispute that. Interesting. Well done, Marita. Okay, you're very quick with your answers as well. I'd be interested to have that discussion with you, Adam, but I think maybe this is not the place. Eggs, for example. But plant-based vegetarian. So eggs are vegetarian, plant-based. It doesn't mean entirely plant. So yeah, maybe plant-based is wider. Okay, interesting point. Okay, we'll let that one go though. Rightio. So your score, 3 correct answers, 3 marks is possible. Now, if you got 2 correct answers, you're going to get 2 points unless you also got an incorrect answer. So 2 right, 1 wrong, you've only got 1 point. So correct answer +1, incorrect answer -1. So what's your total? Lowest mark is 0, so you can't have -3, for example. Oh, that's not so good. Shahul Amid, that's not so good. That's not what you want. Yes, so people are having problems. You need a lot of practice with these. You cannot guess. You need to be sure. You need to work quickly. Okay, yes, definitely need to work on that one, Ksenia. Okay. Rightio, let's move on. So this is another one that I'm sure you all love. Reorder paragraphs, another very challenging one. Okay, so it's going to look like this. You're going to have sentences on the left side, usually 5, sometimes 4. I've never seen 3, I've never seen 6. So 4 or 5, usually 5. You need to click and drag to the other side. And you can use these arrow buttons here. So I can click on that, click here, move it over, and you can move them back, and you can see you can change the order as well. So you can move them left to right, you can move them up and down once they're over here. So you can play with them until you're happy. Okay. Method, find the independent sentence. So an independent sentence, it's not dependent. It doesn't rely on another sentence. So for example, this first one here, again, this is just our example. We won't do this one, but one was a priest in Rome. One what? So this is dependent. For us to understand this, we have to have read the previous sentence. So you're looking for a sentence that can stand on its own, an independent sentence. Sometimes there are several of them. In that case, I would start with the shortest one, the simplest one. Think in terms of how you would write a paragraph in an essay. First sentence is a topic sentence. It's usually quite simple, just foreshadowing or saying what the paragraph will be about. So it's usually fairly simple. I would start with the shortest or simplest sentence. Okay, then you follow the sequence of ideas. So you find the first one and you're looking to link each one to the next. Sometimes grammar can help you. The first time we talk about something is a, second time the. Not always, but it's a general trend. There is a river in Melbourne. The river is called the what is it called? The Yarra. Okay. So you're connecting each sentence to the next. Then you're checking. So once they're all over here, you think you've got it right. You're going to read back through it and check that the whole paragraph makes logical sense. If it doesn't, you've got something wrong. Okay, you're going to get 1 point for each pair of sentences. So 5 sentences means 4 pairs, each correct pair. So any 2 together, you get a point. And you have 2 or 3 of these in the test. You should spend about 2 minutes on this task. Okay, before we move on, are there any questions? I think we're good. Okay. So we'll just do a little practice one. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. What's the correct order here and why? Pop it into the chat. So this is just a practice before we do the real one. Okay, so we've got a BAC, a BCA, another BAC, another BCA. Okay, so we're a bit divided on this one. Okay, so let's have a look. So here we've got a growing number of nations. That could be a first sentence. Are acting as middlemen in the supply chain. Now that's odd. In which supply chain? I would expect a specific supply chain to be introduced first. So I don't think that's an independent sentence. And straight away C, I can say this makes it increasingly difficult. Sorry, what makes it difficult? So what does this mean? Okay, so fairly quickly I've identified that B is probably going to be the first one. Okay, so there's our answer. B is the only independent sentence. Now A or C, either of them could go next. However, this is the problem over here. If C is next, what are you going to do with A? There's nowhere for it to go. It's just out there on its own. So you would need to put them in this order, B, A, C. Otherwise, A is kind of just sitting there unconnected. So sometimes you have that. You do your order, and your order looks good, but there's one sentence that goes nowhere. So you need to rearrange, make sure that stray sentence fits in logically. Okay, so we're going to do one. Okay, and you can't move things around on the screen, so you've got to do it in your mind. Maybe write down the letters on your paper while you're trying to work it out. You ready? Okay, so you're going to look for the independent sentence. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, see if that's enough time for you. Off you go. Okay, a few people have jumped in. I'll give you a few seconds longer. I won't put the clock on. I've got a few different answers so far. Okay, so let's have a look. And everyone's got the first one correct, I think. I don't think I saw anyone with that one wrong. So this is the only possible independent sentence. All of the others are linked to something else. Okay, so E, where do we go from there, guys? Okay, so the first sentence talks about the complete genomes. This one talks about genomes as well. So we're looking at EC. So most people are looking good at the moment. If you've got E and C, you've already got 1 point. So 4 points is possible. If you've got E and C, 1 point already. Okay, so what's the next one? Okay, so in addition, so we have a piece of information, now a new piece of information in addition. So a lot of you are still on the money, still looking good, E, C, D. If you've got C and D, you've got 1 point. So even if you put A first, you still get 1 point if you have C and D. So 1 point if you have E and C, 1 point if you have C and D, even if you've got the first one wrong, that's okay. Okay, so next we have, feel like a drum roll. I'd do a drum roll if I was on my own, but not in public. Okay, so what's the link here? So in addition, separated into different species, this kind of species separation, separated into different species, this kind of species separation. So they look like they go quite strongly together. And in addition is the sentence that introduces this idea. Okay, if you have D and B, even if you got the first two wrong, but you have D and B together, 1 point. Okay, last one, that's not hard to work out, is it? Okay, and again, if you've got B and A together, even if everything else is wrong, you've got B and A, 1 point. Okay, so 4 points is possible. Okay, here we've got sympatric speciation, these and other insights. So this is an insight, a way of looking at it. Okay, so this one you need practice. This was actually quite a difficult one, partly because there's this awful vocab, hybridizing, rorquals, in the absence of barriers, sympatric speciation. I've never heard of this combination before, and I'm a native speaker. Insights, genomics. So there's some quite difficult language there. What you're going to look for is number one, can you find an independent sentence? If there's only one, it goes first. Next thing you're looking for links, genomes. Okay, we've got in addition, so another idea, separated into different species, kind of species separation. Here's a link. Okay, then they're talking about an idea that's very rare, and this is an insight. This is a way of understanding. So this is an example of an insight. Okay, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Okay. So possible score, 4. So any pair of sentences, you get 1 point. Anyone get 4 for that? I think a few of you did. Pop it into the chat. Yes, Marita, you're so fast. You're going to be a hero in this test. Okay, keep going. All right, what have we got here? We've got mini mock test. Yes, mini mock test. For some of you, it's part of your package. It takes you through all 20 task types for listening and for reading. The answers are right or wrong. You find out which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong, and you can see what the correct answers are, so you can work out which questions are causing you problems, and see what your score is for listening and reading. For speaking and writing, a teacher is going to mark your work for you. They'll give you a score against the criteria. So if you did the test today, I think you would get this for your essay. I think you would get this score. I think you'd get 80 for your summarized written text, for example. Summarized spoken text, you're going to get 78. This is what I think you're going to get if you do the test today. This is what you're doing well. This is what you need to work on. So you get individual feedback on where you're going well and where you need extra help. So very valuable. If it's part of your test, make sure you take it. A good time to take it is when you've already learnt all of the methods, you've been doing some practice, you're thinking, I think I'm about ready to do this test, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. Do the mini mock test, and that can confirm for you, yes, you're ready to go, or you're very close, but you need to work on this area, or no, you're not going to get your score at the moment, and these are things you have to work on. So very useful for you to take this test. Okay, let's keep going. Reading, fill in the blanks. So it's going to look like this. You need to take words from the bottom and drag them into the gaps. You can see how many, how much time. Method. Speed read the first sentence again. Usually this has, I think, maximum 80 words. It's possible to read it all if you want to. I would try speed reading it first and not read it all unless I have to, unless I just can't get the gaps. So if you can move through this one quickly, it gives you more time on some of the more difficult questions. You can spend more time on the others. Read the words around the gaps. In 1999, the nation, something its first budget deficit, brought down, published, had. So immediately I'm thinking of possible words. I'll look down here, which one matches my ideas. Okay, select the best word from the box. So we've answered a different one here. Eliminate incorrect options. So some of them, you know, it's the wrong part of speech. I need a verb. This is a noun, can't be right. Or no, this doesn't make sense in the context. Okay, so think about the grammar, think about what sounds right, check that it makes sense. Correct answer, 1 point, and you'll have 4 or 5 of these in the test. Okay, so we're going to do one. You ready? Okay, so which words from the bottom? And I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes. Okay, off you go. Okay, I won't put the clock on. I'll give you a few seconds extra. Okay, so Mickey's put in an answer to the example question before. Absolutely correct, Mickey. That's good. That was a really tough one. You did well to get that one. Very nice. Fabulous work. Okay. So let's have a look at those answers. What have we got? Okay. One thing to notice, there's always going to be 3 more options. If you get 6, the maximum number of options down here will be 8. If you get 6, there are 2 extra, but we've only got 4, so it's always plus 3 up to a maximum of 8. So 4 gaps means we get 7 words. Okay, little fun fact, I guess. Okay, answers, what have we got? Limited, places are strictly limited. Collocation, those 2 words often go together. On the basis of academic merit, they often go together. Business acumen, collocations. So far, they're all looking like collocations. And events management, another collocation. So these are words that as a native speaker, I can see it straight away. Sometimes this tests you a bit on grammar. Here everything's on collocation. Sometimes it's on meaning. And here it's a combination of those things. Okay. So Suniti, you've got 3. That's fabulous. Shahul, I think just quickly looking at that, you've got 3 as well. Yes, you've got 3 as well. Okay, nice work. So why did you get the last one wrong? Collocation, events management. Some of you had events attire. Attire means clothing. I sort of would get the meaning, but I've never heard those 2 words together before. But this one, yes, it's a collocation, events management. Okie doke. Let's keep going. So at the moment, you could be on a score of 16 if you've got everything right. And what you're seeing here is that we're working through this fairly quickly. And in the test, you need to do it. So to do it quickly, what that means is you can't be perfect in what you're doing. You're going to, all the way through the reading test, you're going to do your very best. You're going to make some mistakes. You will make mistakes. Very unusual to get everything completely right. And you can even get 90 with a mistake or 2. So you can score very well with a couple of mistakes. But because of the speed, you will make mistakes. It's a matter of having the strategies and the confidence to minimize those mistakes so you're not making many of them. So lots of practice, good understanding of the tasks and how to manage them. And we've got 1 to go, haven't we? I'm going to have a vocab quiz at the end, very quick. All right, multiple choice, choose single answers, the last task. Okay, we've got round buttons or radio buttons. That means one answer. Remember, anytime you see a box, it means 2 or 3 answers and it means negative marking. But we've got circles, so only one answer. Okay, here's our prompt. Here's our text. Method. Carefully read the prompt. The major divisions of the Sioux people of North America are something. So we're looking for what the major divisions are. Okay. Deep, and there's only one answer. Deep read the text. That means read it carefully. You've got enough time. I think maximum 110 words here. You've got time. Go back and forth from the options to the text. So read this, and then check. I think that's here. Is this one of the options? No, that's not right. Oh, this is the same. I think that's the same. Let me read. So doing that kind of thing, back and forth, back and forth. Check carefully. Eliminate wrong answers. So maybe 3 and 4, nope. But is it 1 or is it 2? I better go back and read again. So don't be afraid to go back, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. Match your understanding to the best answer option. Don't choose an answer just because it's got the same words. Could be a trick. 1 point for the correct answer. For each correct answer, there's only 1. And you'll get 2 or 3 of these in the test. Okay, we're going to do one. You ready? So only 1 correct answer. Read the prompt first. Okay, off you go, 2 minutes. Okay, so most people are putting in the same answer. Hyojin, you cannot do that. You can't put in 2 answers. You won't get away with that. You must choose 1. So what are you going to go with, Hyojin? Back yourself. What do you think, C or D? You've got to choose 1. Right, so most people have got the correct answer. Oh, you changed it. Not always a good idea, is it? Because correct answer is, drum roll, D is the correct answer. I'll give you a moment. You can look for yourselves, read the option, read the text. Can you see that that's the correct answer? Okay, and again, it comes down to reading this prompt. What does the writer believe is most surprising about the dolphins? So maybe there are a few things that are a bit surprising. What's the most surprising thing? And this seems to be the most surprising thing. And most of you got that. And interesting that when you change your answer, so often people spend more time on a question, they change their answer, and they've gone from the correct one to the incorrect one. So be careful with that. Sometimes just go with your gut feeling if you're not sure. Okay. So what's your score out of 17? What have you got? And what does it mean? So add up your score, pop it into the chat. Marita, that's brilliant. Superstar. Suki, you're doing well as well. I noticed you had lots of correct answers there, Rebecca. Victor, I thought you would have done better than that. You seem to get quite a number of correct answers. Okay. So in that case, if your score is not what you would like it to be, what you need to do is really identify the questions that are causing you problems. So maybe it's reorder paragraphs and multiple choice, multiple answer. Maybe it's just those two. Really focus on those two. Do lots of practice. Attend the live classes so that you get that practice and you get to see lots of examples. Okay. So do a quick quiz. Remember that vocab we saw at the beginning? I'm going to give you 35 seconds to review it now. Any questions you've got that you'd like to ask, you can pop them into the chat. Otherwise, have a look through the vocab. Any questions? Okay, so all of these words came up in your reading. Janital, you're asking about decipher. Decipher is often used with the word code. So you decipher something. Something is difficult to understand. Maybe it uses a code and you put it into plain English or whatever your language is, into plain language. So you make something that's complicated, you make it clear, something that's we cannot understand like a code. You can decipher it. You can take the code and put it into language people can read and understand. The meaning of advocate or on one side depends whether it's a verb or a noun. Advocate. That's oh, I can't see it there. Okay, so maybe you're answering a question I asked before. I don't know. Advocate. If you advocate. Notice the different pronunciation. Advocate is a noun, advocate is a verb. Advocate, you argue on someone's behalf, you support someone is the verb. An advocate is a person who supports someone. Okay, we'll do a quick vocab test and then I'll look at your questions. Okay, let me get rid of my picture. Okay, ready for a quick test? 10 questions. Okay, 30 seconds on these 5. Off you go. Okay, and let's look at the next 5 questions. So again, 30 seconds. Okay, now that was tough, wasn't it? Because that's actually looking at collocations, which prepositions go with the words. So you need to be aware of the words but also the prepositions that go with them. So derived, what's the preposition? Immersed, what was that preposition? Okay, so you need to be observing that, and that's a way to develop your vocabulary and to sound not native-like when you're writing and speaking, because those collocations, those word pairs just begin to sound natural to you. Okay, let's look at those answers. So I'll give you a moment to read through those, and I'll have a look at your questions if you have any. Okay, hi Divine, we're just about finishing, unfortunately. You've just joined us right at the end. Okay, so Nalanga, you're saying you're doing your exam in about a month from now, but you want to do more work on vocab. How can you do it? Okay, a few things you can do. One of them is make sure you're doing lots of reading, lots of practice on the website. But in addition to practicing the different tasks, you should be going to Science Daily. Let me see if I've got some of these websites open. I may have, I sometimes have. Is it there? Okay. I'll just bring up another website, which I hope you can see. I think you'll be able to see that. But this website here, sciencedaily.com, you can see reading on health topics, technology, environment, society, lots of different topics, and lots of vocabulary that's going to be very useful for you. Lots of science-based things. They're the kinds of things you're going to read in the test. And you'll also notice lots of collocations. So, for example, I can immediately see here, interested in, they often go together. Huge advantage, they often go together. So you begin to see these collocations repeated, learning new vocab. This is a good way to do it. Another website that's quite different that I quite like is called freerice.com. It's just a little game. It should come up on my screen in a minute. freerice.com. It's just a little game that enables you to check your knowledge of synonyms. Sometimes it's going to give you new vocab. So the one they've got here, for example, announcement. What does announcement mean? Cop, proclamation, rock, gem. What's the meaning? I'm going to go with proclamation. Did you know both of these words? So if you're not sure of this, maybe you're going to guess it, but you're learning a synonym. Often it's just confirming a synonym that you already know. Okay, I've got it right. So green, it's going to give me a new one. Location. Location means place. So often it's just practicing words you know. So you try and do it quickly. And then when you're writing essays, words will come to you quickly. Scared, frightened. Okay, now if I make a mistake, it's going to give me the word again later. So helper is assistant. But if I say helper, that means inconsistency. I know that's wrong. So it'll show me, no, that's wrong. This is the correct answer. And then later, like in 4 or 5 words, it'll bring it back to me. I get another chance. So I think this is a nice little game to play with maybe just for 1 or 2 minutes at a time, a few times a day. On the phone, for example, just play it for a couple of minutes. It's just reinforcing those synonyms. You need synonyms to be able to express yourself clearly. So that's very useful. So I would suggest Free Rice and also this one here, Science Daily, to develop your vocab. Okay, any other questions before we finish? We will finish in a moment. Canine, what's canine? Canine means the family of dogs. So dogs and wolves and foxes? Foxes, cats or canines? I don't know. What are foxes? I think. Anyway, canines definitely include dogs and wolves. Okay. Can I paste the link in the chat? Canine teeth is a collocation. Absolutely. Yes, it is. So they're the teeth near the front. So you've got 4 front teeth, and then on the sides, you've got 2 canines. Yes, sharp teeth. Exactly. Lovely. Okay, guys, do we have any questions let me get back here. Any questions in YouTube before we finish? YouTube's usually a minute or so behind us. So, oh, it's not coming onto my screen. All right. name of the last website link. So the two I showed you, sciencedaily.com and freerice.com. Okay, my pleasure, Victor. Nice to meet you. Well, thank you very much, Marita. I think you were amazing. You did fantastic. You're going to really ace that test, Marita. Okay, so do we have questions on YouTube? No? Oh, maybe. Okay. So there's no extra work today, Sujeevan. That's usually on a Monday. You get a few bonuses. Today, it's just the normal class that we would do during the week. Okay, thank you everyone for joining me. I was going to say you can join us again next Monday, but it's holiday time. So at E2, for the next 2 weeks, we've got a reduced number of classes. Paid members, you can access 1 month of the last lot of videos. So you've got a lot of videos you can access to make up for the reduced number of classes. And for everyone else, we'll be back in full on the 11th of January. Until then, some classes, but reduced. Have a lovely holiday break if you're having a break. Take care, everyone. Anyone doing the test in early January, best of luck. Do lots of hard work. Go in confidently. Take care. Bye-bye.